morning, dear learners. Welcome to teaching learning session of sociology. And in this session today, we'll discuss about Iravati Karve. Iravati Karve is an eminent sociologist of India. Actually, she was the first women anthropologist of India and the founder of sociology in Pune University. As we know, that she is the one who headed the position of sociology department in Pune University. Her range of work stretched from mapping kinship and caste to surveys on the contemporary status of women. She extensively wrote about the kinship system and the caste system in India. To interpret the inner integration of Hindu society, she related Hindu mythologies with modern customs. The same enterprise was again found in the work Yuganta, which was written in Marathi. So she wrote Yuganta, in which she related the Hindu mythologies with the modern customs. She won Sahitya Akademi Prize as the best book of that year. In the book Yuganta, The End of an Epoch, Iravati Karve studied the characters and society in Mahabharata. The subject of book is secular, scientific, and anthropological in the widest sense. So Yugantra, as the name suggests, that she tried to in this study she studied about the character and society in the Mahabharata, and now she compared it with the modern society. Iravati Karve was an Indian anthropologist. She was born in Burma and educated in Pune. She married into the Cowboys who were educators and the social reformers. She did BA in philosophy and MA in sociology from Bombay University before proceeding to the Germany for advanced studies. So she did her graduation from Pune University, post graduation from Bombay University, and then proceeded for Germany for advanced studies. For an outstanding research in anthropology, the Berlin University conferred on her the DPhil degree in 1930. She acquired knowledge of both social and physical anthropology. In 1939, Karve joined the Deccan College Postgraduate and Research Institute of Pune as head of Department of Sociology and Anthropology. She served as the head of the Department of Sociology and Anthropology at Deccan College till her retirement. She presided over anthropology section of Indian Science Congress in 1939. Let us discuss about the central ideas of Iravati Karve. Karve's central idea focused on the Hindu society and its caste system, as well as the kinship organization in India. Her research interests were concentrated on the racial composition of Indian population, kinship organization in India, origin of caste, and sociological study of rural and the urban communities. So she extensively studied about the kinship organization in India, the composition of racial composition of Indian population, origin of caste, and sociological study of rural and urban communities. Hindu society and interpretation is a study of Hindu society based on the data which Karve had collected in her field trips and her study of pertinent text in Hindi, Marathi, Sanskrit, Pali, and Prakrit. She discussed the pre-Aryan existence of the caste system in Hindus and traced its development to its present form. She tried to interpret the Hindu society based on the field research, as well as she has taken help of the ancient text. Right? She discussed about the caste system in the pre-Aryan existence of the caste system in Hinduism and tried to trace its development in the present form, how it has been developed into the present form. According to Iravati Karve, the Indian caste society is a society made of semi-independent units, each having its own traditional pattern of behavior. This has resulted in multiplicity of norms and behavior. So, according to Curve, the Indian caste society is society made up of semi-independent unit. As these are the caste system is a semi-independent unit, so it resulted in the multiplicity of norms and behavior. She calls the caste as endogamous kinship group, which are distinct from each other. Curve was of the view that the cultural problems before India revolve around the region, caste, and the family. She felt that it was difficult to evolve a common language, uniform civil code, and abolish the caste. So, according to Iravati Karve, the cultural problems which exist in the India is because of the region, because of the caste, because of the family, and she felt that because of the various caste and other region and religion, it is difficult to evolve a common language and the uniform civil code and to abolish the caste in India. She looked upon the task of building the subcontinent through uniformity would destroy the valuable cultural traits of the old way of life. So, as per Iravati Karve, the task of welding the subcontinent through uniformity, if there will be uniformity in India, this uniformity would destroy the cultural heritage of India. The valuable traits are described by Curvey as tolerance and an awareness of diversity. Kinship organization. Curvey's work, Kinship organization in India, is a study of various social institutions in India. Curvey mapped kinship pattern in India onto the linguistic zone. So she extensively worked on the kinship system, and her work, that is the kinship organization in India, is study of the various institutions in India. There are various institutions, family, marriage. It is a study of various institutions in India, and Conway mapped the kinship pattern in India to the linguistic zone onto the linguistic zone according to the as there are different languages in India. She tried to map the kinship pattern according to the linguistic zones, like Indo-European or Sanskritic organization in the northern zone, Dravidian kinship system in the southern zone. As she tried to map the kinship system according to the linguistic pattern. So in northern zone there is the Sanskritic organization. So Indo-European or Sanskritic organization in the northern zone, the Dravidian kinship system in the southern zone, and a central zone of a mixed pattern actually found in Maharashtra and MPs, and Mundari kinship system in the east. So she mapped all this kinship system according to the linguistic pattern. With each linguistic region, there are variation between caste and subcaste. She found that that in each linguistic region, there are variation between the caste and the subcaste. Curvey notes that the North women are separated from their families at an early age and sent off to live with unknown in-laws far away. So she noted that there is an early marriage in North India, whereas in South the girl is among her relatives even after marriage. Right in northern India, she studied that in northern India, the women were married off or separated from the family at an early age, and in southern India, right, the and in southern India, the girl, even after the marriage, the girl is among her relatives. The kinship organization in central zone shows a greater internal variation than the north, with some caste alike cross cousin marriage in one direction, and as in the south. So in central India, there are the greater internal variation than the north, with some in central India, some caste allow the cross cousin marriage in one direction, like in the southern India. In almost all castes in the northern zone, according to Karve, the marriage between the cousin is prohibited. According to Iravati Karve, a joint family is a group of people who live under one roof, eat food cooked in one kitchen, at one kitchen, right? So, Iravati Karve noticed or studied that in northern zone, the marriage between the cousin is prohibited, while in south it is quite common, and in center it's a mixture, right? And according to Iravati Karve, she studied about the joint family system. According to Karve, the joint family is a group of people who live under one roof and eat food cooked in a common kitchen. They hold property in common, who participate in common worships and related to each other at some particular type of kingdom. Karve thus provides an understanding of structure of Indian society and its range of social arrangement in her study of kinship organization. Iravati Karve's paper, The Kinship Map of India, highlights the custom of marrying close kin in South India in contrast to the principle of extended exchange in North India that enables women to frequent their natal families, thereby reducing the stress faced by the married women. So, in this paper, she tried to contrast and compare about the marriage system of the South India and North India. Iravati Karve predominantly addressed two themes, that is, the origin of caste and the unit of analysis, and the second is that the smallest endogamous unit or jati was a product of breaking up of a larger group caused by occupational diversification. So she studied about the caste system in India and the jati system in India. According to Karve, the jati is an endogamous unit, right? And the jati is a product of a breaking up of a larger group caused by the occupational diversification. Karve differs from Gure, who argued that the caste in India is a Brahminical product of Indo-Aryan culture, spread by diffusion to other parts of the strengthened by the caste system, and both these conform to certain pattern found in the different linguistic region. The family in majority of region in India is autonomous unit with its own observance. The caste in its turn is also a closed autonomous unit which has a certain limited contacts with other similar units and which controls the behavior of families in a certain respect. So, according to Karve, family is a family in the majority of region in India is autonomous unit, and it has its own observance. Family is the autonomous unit. According to Iravati Karve, again caste is a closed autonomous unit, and because it is a closed autonomous unit, it has a certain limited contact with other similar units, right? And it controls the behavior of families in a certain respect. So caste controls the behavior of families in certain respect, and caste is a closed endogamous unit. Different castes living in same locality have different rules as regards marriage, have different hereditary occupation and different gods. So different gods who lives in the same different caste living in the same locality have different rules regarding the marriage. Every caste have a different rules regarding the marriage. We discussed about the endogamy and exogamy, and every caste have a different hereditary occupation and different gods. The joint family provides the economic and social security. And with the rise of the industrial cities and employment opportunity, it has resulted in loosening of the bonds of the joint family and of the village community. As we know, because of the industrialization, people started moving from a rural background to the urban background. So, this industrialization and employment have loosened the bonds of the joint family and the village community. Uganda. Uganda is Yuganta is Iravati's Karve work, right? Iravati Karve's Yuganta, a retelling of the Mahabharata, is literary and sociological text blending history, culture, philosophy of ancient times. So Yuganta is nothing but the retelling of the Mahabharata. That this text describes about the culture, history, and philosophy. Yuganta. So Iravati Karve's Yuganta is a retelling of Mahabharata, and it is a literary and sociological text which blends the history, culture, philosophy of ancient time. And as per Iravati Karve, the central figures of the Mahabharata are neither wholly good nor wholly bad, but a blend of both. She examines each one of the character and unravels that working of wide range of human emotions, both positive and negative. So she tried to explain each and every character of Mahabharata, and she tried to explain the human emotions both on the positive and the negative sides. In her presentation, she adopts a matter of fact tone without commenting on the virtues and vices of the character. She makes a parallel study of literary text and the cultural, historical, and civilizational aspect of the society. So she actually makes a parallel study of literary text and cultural, history, and civilization aspects of the society. Iravati Karve presents different character and their action, not subjectively through moral praise, but objectively through events that impacted and shaped the destiny of the different people. Iravati Karve, as a sociologist, make a study of human social behavior. As an anthropologist, she makes an insightful study of physical, social. Important works of Iravati Karve, that is the kinship organization in India, Hindu society and interpretation, Maharashtra, land and its people, and Yuganta. A.R. Desai. A.R. Desai is again an eminent sociologist of India, that is Akshay Ramanlal Desai. A.R. Desai was born on April 16, 2000. Sorry, it should not be 2015. On April 16 in Nadiad in Gujarat. Ramanlal Desai, apart from being an officer of Baroda state, right, was also a well-known writer who wrote many novels depicting the lives of peasantry. So actually, A.R. Desai was from the Gujarat, and he was an officer. He was an officer of depicting the lives of the peasants. His work is basically on the peasant and life of the peasants and the farmers. He also had a great admiration for Gandhi and some leaning towards the Fabian socialism. His deep political consciousness came from the family that was highly sensitive to social operations. In 1947, he got married to Neera Desai, who played a pioneering role in the growth of women's study in India. He began his teaching career as a lecturer in Siddharth College in Bombay in 1946 and joined the Department of Sociology, University of Bombay in 1955, became professor and head of the department in 1969, and resigned from the department in 19. Senior fellow and a national fellow in the Indian Council of Social Science Research from 1973 to 75 and 81 to 85 respectively. He was the president of the Indian Sociological Society in 1980 to 81 and the Gujarat Sociological Society in 1988 to 1990. He was the only Indian sociologist who was active in politics. He was also a member of the different mainstream left political parties at different points of time, even though during his early days in 1930s. So he was a leftist. He was involved with the political parties, the left political parties. He was very much influenced with the Karl Marx. He was a member of the Communist Party of India for a brief period. He was a committed Marxist since his early undergraduate student days and remained one till his death in 1994. In 1930, nationalism represented by the Congress was also emerging. There were ideological conflict between the relatively more left-oriented section with the Congress that of the right-oriented section. The Kisan movement has started in Gujarat in 1930, and Baroda was an important center for radical and left politics, including the activists of the nascent Communist Party. It is said that the Akshay Desai was suspended for his activities from his college in Baroda. He moved to Surat and then to Bombay to pursue his studies and his activities. Bombay was never a center for the trade union activism and also the growing communist activity. There was a struggle for gaining influence over anti-colonial movement among the various ideological and political currents. The worker in the textile mills in Bombay, jute mills in Calcutta, and mine workers were exhausting working hours and low wages. The trade union movement was in the forefront of both the struggle of the workers and the nationalist movement. So the trade union movement that was in the forefront of the worker struggle as well as the nationalist movement. This was also a period of a Great Depression. The industrial recession that followed it hit major industries, and this gave a further fillip to militancy in the labor movement. The communist presence and the leadership of labor movement deepened during the period. There was a mushrooming of people's organization ranging from trade unions, Kisan Sabhas, Students' Federation, Women's Organization, and Culture, and Literary Forum, all of which were imbued with a strong anti-colonial consciousness. So this anti-colonial consciousness has emerged during this period, right? Each and every section of the society were against that colonial system, against the Britishers. Desai got involved in the communist movement and joined the Communist Party in 1934. But he left the Communist Party after a brief period of 5 years, since he found the bureaucratic structure regarding support to British war efforts in India when the Soviet Union was attacked by Nazi Germany in 1939. So he opposed the change in the party stance regarding this support to British war efforts in India when the Soviet Union was attacked by Nazi Germany in 1939. He resigned from the party in 1939. Desai continued to pursue his research and activism through his entire teaching career. Central ideas of A.R. Desai: Indian nationalism. As he was involved in the nationalistic movement, nationalism was the canvas and backdrop against which social science took roots in India. The large part of his work was based on the method of historical materialism, as he was influenced by Karl Marx, so he followed the ideas of Karl Marx. His doctoral work was published as a book titled Social Background of Indian Nationalism. he brought out another volume, Recent Trends in Indian Nationalism. Originally, his doctoral work, The Farmer, was published in 1946 and has run into several editions. Desai analysis. Analysis the various forces at work at time, and then changes brought about by the colonial policies in the basic structure of Indian society. So he studied the various forces which brought the changes in the Indian basic, that is the structure of Indian society, because of the colonial policies. He views nationalism as an historical category, a modern phenomenon which comes into existence at a certain point of time in history. The nation that emerged was not a homogeneous one. It comprised of different classes that arose in course of colonial intervention. That's all for today. Thank you very much. Namaskar.